better news is the clubs will meet again in January in the Italian Super Cup. You may recall the clash in the Coppa Italia final in Rome in May. Juve triumphed 4 unanswered goals in the second half. Tremendous match. What an atmosphere. Well, Higuain there, who scored both goals for Juve in this fixture last season. But watch out too for Romagnoli there, especially in stoppage time. His 100th top flight game for Milan today. Carlo Mazzolini is our referee. Giorgio Chiellini with the captain's armband for Juventus. Milan certainly with a lengthy injury list at the moment. That includes Caldarabilia, Bonaventura, and now Musacchio, who will be missing for 6 to 8 weeks. Had a bit of a clash with Kessié the other day. That's how they'll play Castillejo up alongside Higuain. Bonucci's goal against Juve in Turin in March made some fans wary of having him back. They don't have to do the same this time around. De Sciglio, who's amongst the substitutes, he was born and developed in Milan. And you can see Dybala playing just off Mandzukic and Ronaldo today. Gennaro Gattuso, the former player, the former pupil of this man. 37 games, he was in charge of Rino Gattuso as a player. Leonardo up in the stands. Carlo Scaroni, president of Milan. Will it be the old or the new? Two former colleagues. So we're underway. The two most successful clubs, the two most successful cities in Italian football. This, the grandest of the grand. Some 52 Serie A titles between them. Milan, the last champions of Italy before Juventus, and their record-busting run. There's Romagnoli, the captain. What a contribution he's made in recent matches, Tony.
No, absolutely, yes. To be the leader of the side. And of course, for your staff to chip in with the odd goal or two, but still some very important ones. But today's game, I have to say, Milan on the up. Is there a chink in the armour of this Juventus side as well? Sets the tie up really nicely.
Potentially all-time record takings for Milan today. Some 4.9 million euros from gate receipts alone. This being beamed to around 200 countries. Big clubs, big business, and high tension. Hug from Rino Gattuso with Paulo Dybala.
Yeah, it could have got a bit ugly actually, but fortunately it ended with a hug. Nice to see.
Who've made their best ever start to a Serie A season. 31 points from 33, unbeaten in 11.
And that's a worry, isn't it? Because certainly in previous seasons they started a little bit slowly, but certainly not this season.
Calhanoglu playing down Milan's left today in place of Laschelt. Kessié. Really pressing Alexandro. Well, just enough on that back pass to Donnarumma. In goes Bakayoko. Oh, mistake by him though. Mandzukic to Dybala here. And in the end, helped out by Zapata.
Well, you can see no side has settled, have they? Certainly some nerves out there crowd going up and down with every single misplaced pass.
And Tweedy trying to ease it on to Cristiano Ronaldo. Avoids Abate, avoids Sousa. Squares it to Bentoncourt. Israel Cancelo. He's working hard to fashion an opening here. Clipped in by Bentoncourt. Pjanic. There's Chiellini. It's a high tempo start.
It really is, yes. Both sides really going at it right from the start. As you can imagine, though, there's so many nerves and pressure around this game. The two misplaced passes, but certainly I think Juventus have settled it slightly better.
Really interesting to see Milan play with the back three in Spain against Betis on Thursday. Arguably, that tactic rather backfired with Barini as the right wing back, and losing his man for what turned out to be the opening Betis goal. Sousa, of course, rescuing it with that free kick that drifted in.
So who would be a manager who try and rest players, rotate, find the right balance? Could be a hero one day, but as you rightly say, suddenly you put the wrong player in the wrong position and it doesn't quite work out as you'd like.
Over here to Rodriguez. Salo Higuain. Special reunion with Ronaldo today, of course, but more on that later. Here's Sousa. Castillejo, who's presumably going to play up with Higuain and just play around him as well. So Castillejo and Higuain have already gone into the area waiting for a cross here, but Milan patiently enough working it via Romagnon to Rodriguez. 3 wins in a row for Milan since losing the derby. Worked it well here. Rodriguez. It's Castillejo. Sousa has Abate on the outside here. Plans to hit by Calhanoglu. Sousa goes the less favoured way.
Still very good though, isn't he? Of course you know that he's very heavy left-footed. You try and send him to the right, but he's still got the cross in.
Just the whole of Italy abuzz with this one tonight. Israel Cancelo striving forward. World Cup winners, World Cup runners-up. Best of the best in Italy. Sarcastic tears for Cristiano Ronaldo.
As you can hear what the home fans think of that. Not one of his best.
Bonucci on the bench for Allegri today. Man who spent nearly 4 years in charge of Milan, winning his first Scudetto in 2011. Cancelo's foul.
Good play from Bagikan. Started the game with a misplaced pass, but this is certainly better. Strong running from midfield. Tucks inside and draws the foul.
More than anything. Here's a test to the Juve defence. It's kept Bonucci waiting in the wings. Sousa and Calhanoglu. It's one of those curlers in towards the goalkeeper. A little bit like the opposite of what Sousa did in Betis the other day.
Absolutely, but it's a good free kick. Just aim for the goalkeeper's chest. Hopefully you get a runner across the eye line, but Castillejo couldn't quite get there.
I think it's a nightmare for a goalkeeper.
Absolutely.
Delivery for Sousa the other night was millimetre perfect.
absolutely fantastic. And what a ball in. Mandzukic, he pulls out to that far stick. Well, he's had a rest. He's come back. Certainly mentally and physically, he is ready for this game. And Rodriguez, absolutely no chance. He saw him there, but the Croatian gets up high. A good foot above the fullback of Milan. And there's only one way that's ending up. Hard and low into the back of the net. Great ball and a brilliant header.
Fantastic goal from Mario Mandzukic. Concerns for Gattuso already.
You look at the front three as well for Juventus. Mandzukic through the middle, but they will rotate as well. They'll find their space and positions at the right time, and that time Mandzukic pulls away at the far post and took advantage.
You were talking about man management, Tony. I mean, when you think about Mandzukic, Croatia, what a wonderful year it's been for them as a nation. As a Bentancur in the meantime. So Mandzukic against Genoa, that draw. They're only dropped points in the league so far this season. And he did look rather off colour, off the pace, compared to his usual high standards. The rest has done him good, mentally and physically. Now, Higuain, charging forward. Benatia racing back. Higuain, unselfish. Behind Castillejo, didn't reach Suso.
No, probably better off just trying to put it in front, but pretty good pace there from Higuain. Benatia was left for dead. But you're right, I think with Mandzukic as well, that's the style that he plays. He's all action, gives absolutely everything, but 32 years of age these days, I think after that summer he certainly needs a rest now and then.
And he's in the middle again! Well, they kept him at bay. Quite how, we shall soon see.
Well, I think he's fortunate it's Romagnoli this time, and he was just half a yard late starting his run, but what a delicious ball it is. Keeper Donnarumma couldn't get anywhere near it. A couple of yards out. Mandzukic, he looks to the heavens and thinks, that could have been number 2.
Tavana short. Pjanic. Clever idea. Milan trying to get some playing rhythm together with Bakayoko. Castillejo. And Çalhanoğlu. Milan's improved run, and you think, well, how much is it the way that the tactics have evolved under Gattuso this season? So many injuries right now.
I think now is a difficult time for him, but you're quite right. I think certainly earlier in the season, they would go and play games where they would be in control for half an hour and then just lose it completely in 15-20 minutes. You can't afford to do that. I think they have got more consistent, absolutely.
To continue that, still coming together with Bentancur. See Matuidi here on the ball for Juve. So it could apply to him as to Mandzukic about maybe needing a little bit more of a break. There's a precious little rest time available. The winter break will come in January.
And of course, that's where I think Juventus are far and away better than anyone else. They have plenty of players that they can rest and bring in.
Is Suso tracked by Matuidi. Almost glued to the back of his shirt. Pjanic. Dybala. Mandzukic pulls right. Some mobility here. Ronaldo picked out by Pjanic. Ronaldo charged down once. Mandzukic.
It's a brilliant ball from Pjanic initially. Only surprise for me is a touch of Ronaldo. You expect something a little bit better from him inside the box. Had some start to this game, I have to say. The tempo, my goodness, end to end. It does look like Juve are getting on top.
Talk about Milan's injury list. Zacchio, the latest to be ruled out for up to 8 weeks. Kessié, the Milan player involved in that collision, very unfortunate the way it's happened to him. You may be wondering where Juan Cuadrado is for Juve tonight. He was named in the squad yesterday, but he doesn't figure. I was in touch with the media officer earlier on today. He has a fever, apparently, Juan Cuadrado. So he's not even available on the bench.
Of course, with Musacchio out, the obvious replacement is Caldara, but he's injured as well.
Part of that swap deal with Bonucci in the summer. Rodriguez. Too much adrenaline in that one.
Oh, absolutely. It's the right idea to try and sort of get it in with a bit of pace, but a bit of height. That's how you do it. Just a perfect cross, isn't it? And Rodriguez, as a fullback, you have no chance. Mandzukic on the attack, in the air, sending up in the back of the net.
5th goal of the season. Until Parma 2 against Napoli. Pjanic, if he wasn't more precise, that would easily have been intercepted. Alexandra on the overlap if he can reach it. Times when Zukic and Ronaldo are playing especially wide for two front players.
They are, but that gives the centre halves, of course, a problem because they're marking no one. Dybala, of course, will not go up against them. He'll come and drift deep to get into pockets of space, so Milan have certainly a problem.
Some people were wondering whether Dybala might play more like Cuadrado, wider on the right. You can see right in the middle of your picture there. Zukic tackling and Gianluca. Suso. Gianluca has a party on the outside. Lurking as a true predator does inside the penalty area. There he is. Beaten to it by Benatia.
Good defending. He made the run to that near post, but Benatia was a match.
Zapata here. So whips it in. Tonko stooping to nod it away. From Mario Mandzukic. Here's Rodriguez. Kyoka. Kessié. Zapata. And Zapata actually each got sent off in a World Cup qualifier a number of years ago, qualifying for the tournament that was held in Brazil.
Let's hope we don't see it coming together tonight because that wouldn't be good.
They're on the same team today. Although that's always stopped colleagues in the past.
Exactly.
Wins in a row for Milan, the longest winning streak since March when they recorded 5. They've got the ball back here. Transfer Castillejo to feed Suso. The assist king in Italy right now. Kessié. Miscommunication with Higuain. Good, helpful header back from Mandzukic to Higuain. Kessié.
It's 2 or 3 times now that Dybala has got the ball and is giving it away pretty cheaply. So you want to make sure that the next pass is to a player in a black and white shirt.
Suso was talking about Milan's need to work on set pieces, conceding too many goals. That Mandzukic goal perhaps in that category, even though it was still in open play. Chiellini's header. Beautifully gathered in by Suso. Higuain entangles. Referee thought about blowing, but let play continue. Çalhanoğlu unable to find Castillejo. Good challenge, Bakayoko. Here comes Suso. Abate.
One ball. Certainly, two players are pulling further away from the goal. He's just hit it into an area that his teammates were there.
Reign supreme in Italy right now, but yet to match Milan's achievements in Europe. Conquered the continent 7 times. Juve twice the top team in Europe and 5 times runners-up in the Champions League since they last won it. Higuain turning into traffic in the shape of Pjanic. Ronaldo puffing up right. Against Rodriguez, who does well to keep him at bay.
Just over for a corner kick, but Ronaldo, when he does pick the ball up, must be nice and positive, take players on. Rodriguez there, nice and tight, giving nothing away.
Who's another kept in reserve today, Dybala. Off a dangerous one too. Romagnoli got a touch.
Just, my goodness, what a great ball, but poor defending.
Castillejo working hard, really pressing, snapping at the heels like a little terrier. It's a flick from Benatia.
Oh, I'm just going to check myself there. I'm sure I saw Chiellini with the outside of his left boot put across him. My goodness. Bit of strength initially. Take that. You're never going to beat me. The centre half does pick it up. A good cross.
Playing around in some dangerous areas, and Juventus applying the pressure.
Well, they got themselves in a whole heap of trouble there, didn't they? That really was a poor ball from Çalhanoğlu initially. After that, it was like a bouncing bomb.
Always interesting to see the mentality of a team. They've had the sort of setback that Juve had against Manchester United this past week. Really exquisite Ronaldo volley. That's free kick. Could have gone as a Bonucci own goal or an Alexandro own goal. Officially, UEFA gave it against Bonucci. I think that's the reason he's left as a substitute today, mind you.
Well, we've seen that sort of thing happen before, haven't we? De Vrij got left out, went into it, back down to Lazio. So it's just all the furore around it, the added pressure. Sometimes it's not a chance worth taking.
To respond to the setback. Mandzukic. Good ball in. Romagnoli got his head to it. here by Dybala, who's allowing it to run. Milan, who's going to have to wait rather longer. The injury list is pretty extensive for Milan right now. Bonaventura, another in that midfield area that they're missing through injury tonight. Are you surprised at the team selections?
Certainly for Milan, I think they haven't got a lot of choice. So who was fit, what sort of formation can we play? I think playing three at the back is always going to be dangerous against Juve, and of course they're not playing it very much at all. So no, I think their side is just about right. And I think for Max Allegri, bringing back a fresh Mandzukic was always on the cards. What Sandro knows, of course, is you can't allow him to get hold of the ball. He will turn and run at you, so get in as quick as you can. It's a great first touch from Çalhanoğlu. We know he's got some ability. He's already produced that in the last third, of course. Suso is doing it on the other side, but Çalhanoğlu not so much this season. He's under a little bit of pressure, but a great turn there.
Çalhanoğlu it is who swoops it out to Suso. That's quite a duel over there between Suso and Alexandro today.
It is, and that's one of the key battles as well. Because Suso, far and away, is most prolific of Milan players to produce something. Between at times, come back and helped out as well. Just trying to stop the influence that Suso has.
It's Matuidi. Ronaldo, Alexandro wide. Bentancur called for it, got it. João Cancelo. Mandzukic. Able to generate the power here. Ronaldo going in behind him.
It was difficult because he was standing there. Used the power too much off the ball either, but an easy cross to get in, wasn't it, for Cancelo?
Suso has been in supply line. They can to stop supply line to Mandzukic in particular. Higuain has just let it run away from him. So a strong personal point for him to prove perhaps today.
No, absolutely. Of course, you always want to be wanted. You want to be the main man tonight scoring the goals, but of course Ronaldo's turned up. He's been relegated. Of course, he decided to move on. Milan, I'd love to have him, but he'd like to prove a point, absolutely.
The thing about it, like 40 goals he scored for Juve over the last couple of seasons. Just the number of goals, it was the conversion rate. Strictly speaking, he's on loan, 18 million euros, but the 36 million euro option to buy will be exercised. Well, there might have been some sort of clause in the contract to prevent him playing his parent club.
Well, I think in certain countries there probably would be, and of course in Italy, so many other clubs seem to own different players that don't do it that way, but yeah, I must be surprised because it scores against you. You wouldn't be happy, would you?
Bentancur, Matuidi. Ronaldo, familiar step overs. Alexandra there with him. Free kick one against Kessier.
And Kessier did the right thing initially in that he certainly held up Ronaldo, but once he's got him then going the wrong way, just keep him going that way. Out of danger instead. What he's done is come right through the back of him, giving away a free kick in a very dangerous area. Juventus will be lining up for number 2.
Well, a clumsy tackle, clumsy challenge. Kessier, who took a tumble, has his eyes very firmly fixed on this. Juventus has given 1 or 2 instructions. Pjanic, we've seen how potent he can be. He's moved away now. Pjanic, or Ronaldo. Pjanic might have a go here. It is Pjanic. Felt full on in the face.
Zapata actually has done well. So I do think he's certainly going on goal. He's jumped up and smacked him right in the face. I think certainly from Juventus' point of view, they have an embarrassment of riches, don't they, as free kick takers.
That beauty against Lazio, didn't he? Not a free kick, but Pjanic from that sort of distance. By the way, a couple off the league's top scorer, Christoph Piontek of Genoa.
He's dried up slightly, hasn't he, Piontek? Certainly Ronaldo is coming with a run.
Last forward, I think it is for Piontek without a goal. Presents it to Matuidi. It's a good recovery. Just elongated his left leg to suck it down. Constant noise, constant Juve pressure. Cancelo a little bit tame. Castillejo, Higuain. Jabbed clear by Benatti.
Good challenge. Really firm as well. Castillejo and Higuain not quite dovetailing just yet.
There's another example. See how Ronaldo hugging the touchline outside Alexandra. Only Mandzukic left in the middle at the moment. People out of position, Tony?
It does, and of course you can't afford him a load of space, so you go that much tighter. What does that do? That allows spaces inside then for the likes of Dybala to go and play it.
Tweedy. Pjanic. Joao Cancelo. Now they crowd the penalty area. To the Portuguese fullback. It's curled away from Ronaldo, but recovered by Alexandro. Portugal playing Italy in the UEFA Nations League next Saturday. Ronaldo not in the squad. Dybala off. Little deflection there, which for a moment looked as if it might spill over the goalkeeper's head.
He certainly got winded. It was a strange effort, wasn't it? Double ricochet and almost went in.
Kessier. Sousa. Sousa. range for him.
Certainly worth an effort. Chesney not had too much to do so far, but Suso on that wand of a left boot. This makes him take part of the game. Comfortable save. And here we see again, the ball eventually does come out. It's Dybala that runs onto it, ricochets and almost catches out Donnarumma.
Dybala now, João Cancelo to the right. Dybala. Rotation, the movement of Juve's front players.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very hard to pin down as well, but of course when you have that quality possession, that's a bad challenge from Benatia. It's just a little bit too eager. So when you have good possession, fullbacks then can get forward. Cancelo on the right hand side, Sandro on the left. They're playing as wingers at times, so Juventus are on top.
First yellow.
Certainly late. It's actually the back leg as well that catches Bakayoko, who, to be fair to Bakayoko, after the poor first touch he had, he's played pretty well, but they haven't been able to get hold of the ball in midfield and have any sort of control. It's actually the ball that went into his chest, wasn't it? Would have been a Dybala goal for sure.
There's the goal scorer, Mario Mandzukic.
It's a brilliant ball, and exactly what Mandzukic would have wanted. Just put it above the fullback, let me attack it. Keeper can't get there because of the curl and the pace on it. Very hard to defend against.
You can leave Wayne's face there, almost as if it's saying, give me a cross like that.
Yeah, and I think Higuain is a striker that needs service, needs to certainly get people in those wide areas. We do know he certainly can finish, but he can't finish if you haven't got the ball.
Ledeski is among those warming up. Bakayoko just trying to recover after that challenge from Benatia. Two coaches, by the way, have met twice before as coaches. Allegri winning both of them 3-1 to Juve in Turin last season, and that 4-0 success in the Coppa Italia final. Oxford's Montalivo is available as part of the backup plan for Gattuso. I suppose every team at some point, every club at some point will have injuries, suspensions, concerns of that nature. It's come earlier than Gattuso would wish, of course, but this is where all those quality players kept in reserve are going to be so useful.
Yes, I think there's no doubt that that was a free kick, of course, challenge from behind, but you do have two players in every single position, as Juventus do. You can certainly cope with it far better.
So, Ezio Abate there, and of course Calabria also competing for that right back spot. They do get Caldara properly up and running here. They'll have many more options in the centre along with Romagnoli. Ronaldo lurking, that's Romagnoli's header. Kimmich for the initial block, Bentancur now. Chiellini, Benatia. Just makes Allegri talking about keeping emotion out of players' performances very hard on a night like this. They're going about their work efficiently, effectively. Suso looking to counter quickly. He has the pace. It's away from Mandzukic. Higuain's in there. They're appealing for handball. Castillejo takes over, but the ref's already blown and given the ball Juve's way.
He's going for a free kick on Benatia after the event. They think it's a penalty kick and handball, but I have to say the actual ball itself is very close. Higuain certainly gets a touch. It goes up onto Benatia's arm, but is that a movement for the hand towards the ball? Not for me at all. Worth an appeal, absolutely.
It really is one of the grey areas in the modern game, isn't it? When is handball deliberate?
Only Benatia will know.
Mazzolini is just waiting for the VAR to reconsider this, perhaps.
There's no doubt that he handled it. Absolutely. Did he mean to? Well, I think he's got a case to answer here, so Mazzolini is going over to have a look himself, because there was no doubt that his hand did move once Higuain got that touch, but we can see here, certainly stopped Higuain going on goal. It's very close. This could actually be a penalty, you know.
They talk about ball to hand. As he moved his hand towards the ball, here comes the verdict. Penalty! The appeals were not in vain.
No, they certainly weren't. I think as it jumps up, he has moved it away from that position, but it's probably a natural reaction, but he did handball it inside the box. The referee's given it, that's it.
For me, it's one of the most detesting areas for any officials these days. Whether it's deliberate or not, reaction times come into play.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was certainly a reaction, and he did move it inches down, but it's very harsh simply because the ball is so close to a defender. He hasn't really got too much time to react, but penalty it is.
No prizes for guessing who will take it. Can Szczesny keep out his former colleague? Gonzalo Higuain, 40 goals for Juventus, 2 titles over 2 years. And with around 5 minutes of the half to go, here he is. Oh, and Szczesny onto the post! What drama!
What a save. Higuain looks across, and actually it was a decent penalty. I still think it was narrowing in the bottom corner, but Szczesny, vital touch.
Well, Szczesny saved the Champions League penalty against Valencia. He saved arguably an even bigger one here tonight.
So the balance of play as well, you have to say that they deserve it. However, they got the opportunity to get themselves right back in the game, but they missed the chance.
There's Benatia. Advantage played. Bagikan. And that's Weedy.
You can see here now as well, Mandzukic on the left, Ronaldo on the right, Dybala's deep. The two centre-halves are picking up no one. So clearly they're getting outnumbered in midfield, which is why Juventus are able really to pass it around and find space.
Alexandro declining the option of Mandzukic instead for Matuidi, and Chiellini now. On the route back to level it up at 1-1, spurned by Higuain. Not necessarily the worst spot kick you'll ever see, I have to add.
No, I thought it was hard and low, and it was certainly in the corner. I just think the keeper gets right and pulls off a brilliant save.
It's about being critical of the penalty, more about being complimentary about the save. Ronaldo. Dybala, nowhere to go. Something of a cul-de-sac. He's the man of the moment.
Absolutely. You see, Cassis flings himself to the right, and that is really a brilliant stop.
Nothing wrong with that penalty.
No, not at all. Sometimes the keepers, they wait a millisecond too long, and that's in the back of the net, but he guessed right.
Cancelo winning the corner of Rodriguez here. When he joined Juve a couple of years ago for 75 million plus euros. It was very good value for that over the 2 seasons he spent with today's opponents. The touch was off Chiellini, was it?
No, they're asking for a handball. See the penalty again. And he's outstretched fully with his right arm. It is arrowing into the side netting, hard and low. Nothing wrong with that penalty at all, but it's just a brilliant save.
Heartbreak for Higuain. Talking about his handball delivery being one of the most testing areas for the game to sort out. Another one is goalkeepers off their line at penalties, which seems to be inevitable these days.
That one could run and run as well, you're quite right. Here we see it again.
He's headed down, perhaps onto his right hand.
He did, but surely not. No, not going for that one.
To be fair, Chiellini was right there. Maybe didn't see it, but he was closest, didn't appeal. 2 added minutes, end of the first half. Good leap, Alexander. Can't beat Higuain though. Here's Suso. I feel he could be the architect, the catalyst for a Milan revival. Romagnoli. Rodriguez. Castillo. Not enough imagination about the delivery. Kessié screens it from Ronaldo. Kessié, Higuain. Trying to jab it through for Abate, and in the process foul Benatia.
Certainly was a foul, Benatia there, nice and strong, gets in the way, but has to take one from Higuain. You saw earlier the corner kick coming in. Yes, he's headed it, but straight onto his arm. There's no way that can be a penalty. Did hit his head first.
Didn't know anything about it.
Not at all. Not at all.
Cancelo. Hit by Romagnoli. There's the half-time whistle. For all the talk about Higuain and Ronaldo and the two coaches, it's Mario Mandzukic whose goal separates the teams at the break. A towering header after 8 minutes, and a story of a penalty at the other end, which was won on VAR review and then squandered by Higuain, thanks to a brilliant save by Szczesny. At the break at San Siro, it's Milan 0, Juventus 1. Well, the atmosphere is quite splendid this evening. And the almost capacity crowd seeing an all-action first half. Juventus took 8 minutes to get the opening goal, and it was beautifully crafted. Alexandro here with a sublime cross, met by a towering header from the returning Mario Mandzukic.
Absolutely, and Milan, of course, out wide, they haven't really stopped the cross coming in, but what a cross it was from Sandro. Mandzukic towers above Rodriguez. It's the perfect position. Donnarumma can't come for that ball, and the Croatian gets up inside. Rodriguez, hard and low with the header, plants it away.
He was out for a couple of Serie A matches, already making his presence felt. Cristiano Ronaldo, Gonzalo Higuain, former colleagues at Real Madrid. Ronaldo tried to supply Mandzukic a second, this time wide.
Yet again, it's a brilliant delivery. Mandzukic just makes that stop in his run. Instead, if he continues it, he could have again got inside the defender. Romagnoli on this occasion, good defending.
Mario Mandzukic having got his 5th goal of the season. Meeting this little delivery from Joao Cancelo, but a tame one in the end and comfortably gathered by Donnarumma.
Yes, it was, but again, it's just easy to get the cross in. No one closing the player down, but Mandzukic is on target.
Coming out the supply line, absolutely key for Milan defensively, offensively. This, their biggest moment of the match so far. Higuain protesting, the referee gave it against Benatia, or rather against Higuain initially, and then it went to VAR review.
Yes, it did. The penalty was given. Higuain steps up. Excellent penalty. Don't worry about that save. Chesney guesses right. With the help of the post, keeps it out.
Failing to convert the best chance against his former employers. But all credit to Wojciech Szczesny, the Pole, just getting his fingertips to it to preserve the lead at the break. So, half-time statistics.
Sanchez! He's hammered it in. It's a beauty.
Nikmati 380 pertandingan Liga Premier Inggris live. Subscribe sekarang Bein Sports Connect. Irisan skill,
They make it look so simple.
sejumput gol, clinical,
That's it right. Oh, super goal. That puts the body off.
racikan taktik,
That connection again, that combination.
dan taburan aksi menggugah selera.
Absolute shocker.
Resep sempurna untuk pertunjukan yang sempurna.
Beautiful.
The Liga Highlights di Bein Sports 3.
Selamat datang di Bein Sport Connect. Nikmati aksi liga-liga terbaik dunia dan jadi bagian dari keseruannya.
A new record, most goals ever in a Premier League season.
Nonton bola live kapan aja, di mana aja, di pantai, atau di TV. Siapa yang ngegolin? Nah, dengan fitur rewind, gak bakal ketinggalan gol-gol cantik. pertandingan? Tenang, dengan fitur catch up, bisa nonton berbagai pertandingan kapan aja kamu mau.
Manchester United lead.
Bein Sports Connect, aplikasi nonton bola untuk fans sejati. Subscribe sekarang.
Ikuti terus Serie A di sini, di Bein Sports.
Serie A is must see every weekend.
Wawancara one-on-one eksklusif dengan pemain terbaik.
Welcome to our new series.
Tonton cuplikan pertandingan mendatang. Dan dapatkan kisah eksklusif dari para tim dan pemain favoritmu.
He was an inspiration for young players.
Kuatlah semangat sepak bola Italia di Inside Serie A di Bein Sports.
ya Habibal Qalbi, ya Hilal Baroya, dari kitabi al-haqi, Rasulul Hidayah, ya Rasulullah, ya Habiballah, ya Rasulullah, ya Habiballah. Aku ping suara adzan di masjid sifat tebihan, di murid tengah wakosan, ngajak sholat babarengan, ulah sholat di imam, salagi ayat masjid mah, pribumi atau semah, hayu urang berjamaah, sabada bentos anggoan, inditri ngagontong teman, ke tempat peribadahan, milari hidona pangeran. Aku ping suara adzan di masjid sifat tebihan, di murid tengah wakosan, ngajak sholat babarengan, ulah sholat di imam, salagi ayat masjid mah, pribumi atau semah, hayu urang berjamaah, sabada bentos angkoan, inditri ngagontong teman, ke tempat peribadahan, milari ridona pangeran. Wakuluman diberi ilmiah malu amaluhu, Mantudatun latuk balu sahajama ibadat jeung ilmuna, amanate ditolak ditarima, wakuluman diberi ilmiah malu amaluhu, madudatun latuk balu sahajama ibadat jeung ilmuna, amanate Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wala ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar, wala haula wala quwwata illa billahil aliyyil azim. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wala ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar, wala haula wala quwwata illa billahil aliyyil azim. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Sadaqallahul azim. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Great substitution to be able to bring on.
Really on for Abate. Chalanolu off as well. A lash out to we thought might come on to the left side in tandem with Rodriguez.
Yeah, that change certainly isn't a surprise, but really coming on. Clearly a goal behind, they have to do something. Take a bit of a chance, that's what they're doing.
So Milan going to go to the back three system they played in Spain on Thursday. Looks as if Barini is going to tuck in and play as a right back.
Yeah, that is slightly surprising to me. However, he'll try and get forward and drag Ronaldo along with him, but defensively, if Ronaldo gets the ball, he doesn't want to take him on.
Some love Bonucci, some remember.
Yeah, Barini just giving the slip. Ronaldo just pops it through. Was pulled back, I think, on Matuidi. Didn't see too much in there.
Pjanic, Dybala have been the set-piece specialists for Juve today. Looks as if Dybala is priming himself. Hit anywhere from Kessié, nearly worked out for him. Cutrone didn't get the contact. Kessié, Higuain, now Rodriguez, striding forward purposefully, but without the potency.
Trying to hit the target, but it's a long way out. It was a good run. Mandzukic was trying to get back, didn't want to tackle him from behind, but you can see from that angle, it's a bit of a slash, isn't it? Real control in that shot.
Rodriguez, the Swiss international. Switzerland still with a chance of overpowering Belgium in the UEFA Nations League group, which will resume this coming week. Belgium face Iceland first. Iceland already relegated from that group. Dybala stretching. Stolen back here by Kessié. Here comes Rodriguez once more. Switched to Barini. Kessié, Higuain, Suso, Higuain, better from Milan, much better, and they've got a corner.
Chiellini just does enough. He goes to ground actually early. Higuain just waits as well, delays the cross, but still, Giorgio Chiellini gets there.
As we get later and later in this match, keep an eye out for Romagnoli in that penalty area. He's not too happy with the challenge with Chiellini there.
Well, I think that was a foul on Chiellini. Romagnoli, well, certainly coming together. It does look like Chiellini grabs Romagnoli. He's giving it the other way. Well, Giorgio Chiellini knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Then we see him going to ground, yet still he just tackles a leg and somehow stops it.
Dybala off, Douglas Costa on. Bad option, is it? With 12 minutes to go.
Exactly, and therein lies the problem, of course, when playing against the likes of Juventus, you can then take off a fantastic player and put another one on. Of course, by this stage, you're tired, you're trying to concentrate, you're trying to get back in the game, and something you've got to deal with the Brazilian Douglas Costa. Goes Mandzukic. Certainly been slightly manhandled, however, not sure the effects were quite enough for him to go down like that, but what he's there to do, of course, is break up the tempo now. Get a free kick for his side, he's done that well.
Still one available substitution there for Emiliano Allegri. Here's Mandzukic. Shielding, protecting. Now, Higuain doing the same for Milan. And he's held it away from Bentancur. The break is on. And that, for a moment, so unlucky off the heel of Laschalt. Uruguayan who had a good World Cup. Bentancur, of course, part of that Uruguayan side. Is Alexandro. Worked very hard to get there. Hoisted away by Rodriguez. Gathered in by Bentancur. Matuidi. Mandzukic. Alexandro. Last 10 minutes. Alexandro cut out by Barini. Bentancur. Oh, he's done really well. Matuidi. They need Ronaldo in the middle, and he arrived, but the ball was just drifting too high.
It was. Took a gamble, but they give it away again, Milan.
João Cancelo. And Ronaldo! His moment. Their moment. The president celebrates up in the stands as his prized acquisition maybe puts this out of Milan's reach.
Well, that vital second goal has come. The pressure eventually has told. João Cancelo has done a great work on that right-hand side. Donnarumma, it's a decent save as well, but unfortunately he just palms it back into a danger area. But you know who's going to be there. Ronaldo doesn't score as many goals as he has in a career by not knowing where to go. And it's a brilliant finish. He doesn't panic, comes out to him. Only one place is ending up high in the net. Ronaldo makes it two. And it does look like it's game over.
In 9 Serie A matches. Bentancur. Oh, again, the two that have been a little bit loose at times. Alexandro.
Who's gone down, and he's absolutely livid, but it's more frustrating.
Oh, Higuain is in trouble.
Talked himself into a red.
He is literally seeing red. He is inflamed. And the old colleagues at Madrid have become the fiercest enemies as Higuain lets fly on his former colleagues.
And that's a shame, because that is a complete loss of control. He's just so frustrated. That's part of the penalty miss, of course. It certainly was a foul. Then, of course, the reaction is where Higuain got himself into a whole heap of trouble. Now, unfortunately, he's making things worse.
Looked like a yellow initially. Certainly there was a yellow shown, and then a straight red.
No, absolutely. Here we see Benatia has come for the ball. Higuain is trying to get his body in the way. He's not really playing the ball at all. Referee judged that as a yellow card. Of course, then Argentinian striker took offence. And that, the second yellow was for. Rightly so, out come the red.
Interesting to see how that goes down officially, but Higuain has had a torrid night. Missed penalty, a red card. The former Juventus striking great.
So we talk about pressure as well in these sorts of games. You mentioned Bonucci, of course, not playing in this pressure cooker of a game. Well, Wayne, of course, has so much pressure on him to do that, but things go against you sometimes. But reaction, of course, you can always try and control.
That was over saying about Higuain's desire and passion to play in this fixture. Coming back from injury. After that initial yellow was shown, it was a straight red card. Alexandra. Over the rights and wrongs, you simply can't go talking to a referee like that. The game these days quite rightly talks of the need for respect.
No, absolutely. Yes, and that's what you don't want to see. Seguin knows that, but the referee to then to act, and he did. The game wasn't over, of course, at the second goal that Ronaldo scored. Well, it is now.
Around here, floating off for Alexandra.
No, it certainly was. Bruni just trying to get his body in the way, but he takes one on the chin.
Alexandra. Tweedy and Sukic. Milan have to be careful here. Yellow card for Barini now.
Tempers are flaring, frustrations abound, and like they say, you just have to be very careful. Barini's come on and he's playing in a position he doesn't normally play. He's been nutmegged. He's missed a penalty. He's been harshly adjudged by the referee, but it's all going wrong.
Higuain leaving apparently in tears. Juve apparently leaving with will be 11th win out of 12. Shout. Well, they're chasing, they're hustling, but it's hard to see how they can possibly do something now.
Yes, I think just before the second goal went in, I thought Milan responded actually pretty well. The changes that were made certainly made a difference. Cotrone was busy. They had, no great clear-cut opportunities, but they certainly were in that last third and causing Juventus to think that much more, but that second goal really has made it game over.
They have already beaten Napoli, second in the table at the moment. They're opening up something of a chasm for the rest to try and overcome. In many ways, I suppose even Inter will have looked on this as a game that they might just have liked Milan to win.
Absolutely, but you have to remember, of course, you have to take care of your own business, and Inter haven't done that either.
Not a good day in this most glamorous, fashionable city. City famous for style, but which is going to struggle to scale the heights. Topple Juventus, feel on the basis of what we've seen here today. Juve in front early on, that towering header from Mandzukic. Higuain has been a central figure, as many expected, but not in the way that he or his current club would have wished. Great skill from Lash-out, and Venatius across sliding in. Running. Oh, shot. Naughty little one.
Well, slightly late. To be fair, I think the dive was pretty decent. But yeah, there's no doubt it is a free kick, but Cancelo's had a fine game, hasn't he? On this right-hand side, gets forward at will. He was the one that draws the save from Donnarumma that eventually Rado tucks away. I just think the right team is ahead, simple as that. They have been better on the night. Yes, it's been a spirited display from Milan, but still not quite at the level of the Turin Giants.
Ronaldo here. That's the manufacturer pass to Matuidi. Matuidi. Ronaldo. Douglas Costa. He set it up beautifully. The curler flying over from the Portuguese fullback.
Well, it's weaker left side, but why not? Half a yard, couldn't quite get the control he would normally do with his right, but again, good play this time. It's Douglas Costa that sets him up, almost.
We saw with the replays just now was that one little defensive error, Juve have the ability, the talent, the technique to punish it.
No, absolutely. And of course, they've had to gamble, haven't they? Because Barini on this right-hand side, he's not a fullback. But I just think certainly the injuries haven't helped Milan, but even so, Juventus side, I think they played a very canny game, as they always do.
I just find it curious, Barini playing in that role, having seen him for many years, play as an out-and-out winger or even an out-and-out striker. The 93rd of 93 minutes. Repeats that day in Manchester in 2003 when Milan came out on top in that huge occasion. Champions League final at Old Trafford. It is Juventus who continue their procession. Costa, Tonko. And that's it. Marching on with purpose and power. Another challenger is put to the Juventus sword. And Leonardo and Milan have had a very difficult evening. 11 wins out of 12. Mandzukic, then Ronaldo. But the story of the match equally about Szczesny's penalty save, about Higuain's penalty miss, and about the red card for the former Juve striker. It's finished Milan 0, Juventus 2. It took 8 minutes for Massimiliano Allegri's current team to take the initiative against his old team, and the returning striker Mario Mandzukic rising highest in this land of giants.
It's a great header at the back post, isn't it? Alexandro on the left has time to put the cross in, but look at the Croatian star get up above Rodriguez. He had absolutely no chance, hard and low, past Donnarumma.
Milan will give it a chance on VAR review to get themselves level. A handball given against Venezia. Higuain's protest.
Well, certainly, slow motion, yes, it does touch his hand. It's a slight movement, but at real time, I think Benatta is slightly hard done to, but the ref's gone over, and he gave the penalty.
So Higuain against Chesney, and look at this for a save. Onto the post and away.
Slightest a touch. He's going in the bottom corners hard and low, well struck, but Polish international just uses every ounce, every inch of his reach.
So it was 1-0 for a long, long time, and then after a poor clearance by Lashel, João Cancelo drilled it against the goalkeeper, and Ronaldo was there to bury it.
Well, they were certainly punished. Cancelo on the right-hand side. Well, he's had a field day tonight, played really well, and the save comes out to Ronaldo, sending up in the back of the net.
And here's the talking point of the night for Gonzalo Higuain. Benatia down, yellow initially, then verbal abuse from Higuain, straight red.
Absolutely, referee decides that is a yellow card. He's not playing the ball at all. But then the reaction from the Argentinian is really poor.
Milan 0, Juventus 2. So we'll look at the full-time match statistics from the Giuseppe Piazza tonight. Juventus, the reigning champions, winning by 2-0, and just about every category, just scanning down, I think they've won just about every single one of them. 12 attempts, 8 on target, 56% possession, and down at the bottom, another telling one, of course, the red card for Gonzalo Higuain. It's finished Milan 0, Juventus 2. So that rounds up match day 12, spread over 3 days, beginning with that late equaliser for Frosinone against Fiorentina. As for Napoli, well, they squeaked out a win at Genoa. Biraski with an own goal there. Cagliari got a 2-2 draw, having been 2-0 down. Parma proceeding with Gervinho and Inglesi scoring their goals against Tony's old club, Torino. And earlier on today, the biggest upset, Inter losing 4-1 at Atalanta. So this is the effect on the league table, and a 6-point lead restored by Juventus. Inter dropping off the pace a little bit, and Lazio just ahead of Milan still by a single point. And at the other end, well, Chievo Verona not on negative points anymore. Empoli, significantly that 2-1 win over Udinese for them. Caputo 3-3 to take them a little bit further up. So, Milan 0, Juventus 2, the final score. The champions march on.